I watched through my boutique's window as Sarah Winters clip-clopped down the cobblestone street of Oak Grove shopping district in her red-soled Louboutins, the same ones Michael used to buy me before he decided to trade up. Her perfectly highlighted hair bounced as she gestured to my store, entertaining her lunch companions with what I'm sure was another colorful commentary about my adorable little attempt at retail. Did you know, her voice carried through the open door, that she actually thinks she can compete with real luxury brands? It's sweet, really, like watching a child play store. Her friends tittered obligingly. They all owed their social standing to Sarah, who'd appointed herself queen of Oak Grove's elite after marrying my ex-husband. Mrs. Chen, my assistant Emma, appeared at my elbow. The final contracts just arrived from the lawyers. I smiled, watching Sarah press her manicured hands against the window of channel next door. Perfect timing. Is everything in order? Yes. As of midnight, you'll officially own every property in Oak Grove Shopping District, even the parking structures. Sarah's group was moving closer to my entrance. I could practically smell the expensive perfume she'd bathed in, the same brand she'd once helpfully suggested I try, since my discount store scents were probably driving away high-end customers. The bell above my door chimed, showtime. Ladies, I greeted them pleasantly from behind the counter of my admittedly modest boutique. Welcome to Chen Designs. Oh, Lucy. Sarah's smile was pure venom wrapped in $1,000 dental work. We were just discussing your unique business model. It's so brave of you to keep trying after all these years. I adjusted the display of handcrafted jewelry, pieces that actually cost more than her entire outfit, though she'd never bothered to check the prices. How's the new collection at Channel? I heard they're having some lease issues. Sarah's perfectly plucked eyebrows rose. Lease issues? Don't be ridiculous. This is Oak Grove. We only host the finest establishments. Hosted, I corrected gently. I'm sorry. Past tense, things are changing around here. I moved to straighten a rack of designer dresses, exclusive pieces Sarah had always dismissed as knockoffs. What would you know about it? She scoffed. You can barely afford the rent on this. She waved her hand dismissively. Charming little space. Emma appeared with a stack of envelopes. The novices are ready to be delivered, Mrs. Chen. Would you like me to handle the other boutiques first, or start with the anchor stores? Sarah's friends shifted uncomfortably. They'd learned to read the wind in their social circle, and something was definitely changing in the air. What novices? Sarah demanded. Just some updates to the lease agreements, I said casually. Standard procedure when there's new ownership. The color drained slightly from Sarah's spray-tanned face. New ownership. I pulled out my tablet, making a show of checking the details I'd memorized weeks ago. Chen Holdings completed the acquisition of Oak Grove properties this morning. We'll be making some changes to the tenant mix, creating a more authentic luxury experience. Chen Holdings. Sarah's voice rose an octave. But that's the company that's been buying up all the high-end retail space in the city. Amazing what one can build while others are busy shopping, I mused. By the way, how's Michael's new investment firm doing? I heard the SEC is asking some interesting questions. Sarah's friends suddenly found reasons to be elsewhere, leaving their queen bee swaying slightly in her expensive heels. This is impossible, she declared. Michael would have known if you were. If I was what, Sarah? Successful? Running a multinational corporation? Too busy building an empire to play society wife? I leaned against my counter. Michael never did bother to read the fine print on our divorce settlement or his company's loan agreements. The blood drained completely from her face. Loan agreements? Oh yes. Chen Holdings now owns a controlling interest in Winters Investment Group. Amazing what people will sell when they're trying to cover up financial irregularities. I examined my simple wedding band, the one Michael had replaced with Sarah's flashier model. You might want to check your joint accounts. You're lying, she whispered. Emma handed me another document. The auditor's report you requested, Mrs. Chen. They finished their preliminary review of Winters Investment Group. Thank you, Emma. Please make sure Mrs. Winters gets a copy. I'm sure she'll find page 17 particularly interesting. It details her husband's creative accounting regarding their lifestyle expenses. Sarah grabbed the document, her perfectly manicured nails trembling. This is some kind of trick. No trick. Just good business. I moved to adjust a window display. By the way, your channel account, the one Michael's been funding with company money, it's been frozen, along with all the other store cards. The security tag on her designer dress suddenly seemed very conspicuous. You can't do this, she hissed. Actually, I can, and I have. I smiled pleasantly. Don't worry about your lease here, though. I'm sure we can work something out. Maybe a nice discount retail space. Something more authentic. The door chimed again as more customers entered, real customers who appreciated quality over labels. This isn't over, Sarah threatened, but her voice lacked its usual authority. You're right, I agreed. It's just beginning. Oh, and Sarah, I called as she turned to leave. Those Louboutins, they're knockoffs. Michael's been buying from counterfeiters to cover his tracks. Might want to check your closet before the authenticity audit next week. She fled, leaving behind only the lingering scent of expensive perfume and desperation. Emma approached with another stack of papers. Should I start delivering the lease revisions? Not yet. I watched Sarah's retreating figure through the window. Let's give her time to share the news with her social circle. After all, I smiled, remembering all the times she paraded through my little shop with her friends. Word of mouth is the best advertising. And in Oak Grove shopping district, word was about to spread very fast indeed. The queen was about to learn she'd been playing in someone else's kingdom all along. The next morning, Oak Grove was buzzing with whispers. Sarah's perfectly curated social media had gone mysteriously quiet, and her usual morning coffee clique at the premium patisserie was notably absent. Instead, she was huddled in a corner of my boutique, clutching a designer bag that may or may not have been authentic. Please, he whispered, glancing nervously at other customers. You have to help me. Michael, he's frozen all our accounts. How uncomfortable for you. I continued arranging a display of handcrafted scarves. Almost as uncomfortable as when you told everyone I couldn't afford to shop in real stores anymore. I was wrong, okay? I admit it. But this isn't just about me. The charity gala is next week. I'm the chairwoman. Was the chairwoman, I corrected. Chen Holdings owns the venue. We'll be appointing new leadership. The bell chimed as Elizabeth Porter, Sarah's right hand in social warfare, rushed in, her face flushed. Sarah, is it true? They're closing Valentino. I smiled. Not closing, just reorganizing. We're creating space for more independent designers. Quality over labels, you might say. But where will we shop? Elizabeth's voice cracked with genuine distress. There's always my little boutique, I offered innocently, though I should mention our prices are going up. Exclusive designs don't come cheap. Sarah's eyes narrowed. You're enjoying this. Almost as much as you enjoy telling everyone how Michael upgraded when he left me. I moved to the register as a customer approached with one of my designer pieces. That'll be $3,800. Sarah's jaw dropped as the woman handed over her card without hesitation. $3,000. For a one-of-a-kind piece, it's quite reasonable. I wrapped the purchase in tissue paper. Unlike, say, charging $5,000 for counterfeit merchandise. Elizabeth gasped. The audit rumors are true. Oh yes. I handed the customer her bag. The SEC is very interested in how many authentic luxury items have been flowing through Oak Grove lately, particularly through certain investment firms. Sarah grabbed my arm as I passed. You can't expose this. It will ruin us. Like you tried to ruin me? I gently removed her hand. Besides, I'm just doing my civic duty. Chen Holdings has a responsibility to our shareholders to maintain the district's reputation. Your shareholders? Elizabeth's eyes widened. But you're just a what? I turned to her. A shopkeeper? A divorced woman who couldn't keep her man? Or maybe a savvy businesswoman who built an empire while you were all busy judging her? Emma appeared with a tablet. The auditors are ready to begin at Winter's Investment Group. Should I tell them about the hidden vault in Mr. Winter's office? Sarah's perfect composure cracked. Hidden vault. Where Michael keeps the real books, I explained. Along with some very interesting photographs. You might want to ask him about his business trips to Vegas. Elizabeth was already edging toward the door, no doubt eager to spread the latest scandal. Sarah grabbed her arm. Wait, don't you dare. Social hierarchy crumbling already, I mused. Amazing how quickly friends disappear when the credit cards stop working. I'll tell everyone what you're doing, Sarah threatened. How you're destroying small businesses. You mean like you tried to destroy mine? I gestured around my boutique. I built this place from nothing while you were busy playing Queen Bee. The difference is, I actually own everything I have. The door chimed again. Michael's assistant hurried in, looking panicked. Mrs. Winters. Mr. Winters needs you at the office immediately. The SEC agents. Arrive on schedule, I finished. You might want to hurry, Sarah. I hear handcuffs clash with Hermes bracelets. She fled, leaving Elizabeth behind. The social butterfly turned to me uncertainly. Lucy, about all those things I said. Save it. I held up a hand. Your store credit here is also suspended. Authentic relationships only from now on. As they all scattered, Emma brought over the morning reports. The news about the counterfeit merchandise is spreading. Several society wives are trying to return their purchases. Too late for that. I checked the security feeds showing the chaos unfolding throughout the district. The SEC has already documented everything. Amazing what people will reveal when they're afraid of losing their status. Mrs. Chen. A timid voice called from the doorway. It was Michael's secretary. Mr. Winters would like to schedule a meeting. Tell him to contact our legal department. I turned back to my display. I'm too busy running my little shop to deal with soon-to-be indicted investment bankers. As the morning wore on, I watched through my window as Sarah's carefully constructed world continued to unravel. Her social media followers were already jumping ship, her charity board was calling for her resignation, and her beloved luxury boutiques were closing one by one for inventory audit. Emma brought me a coffee from my own high-end roastery next door, not the overpriced cafe Sarah had banned me from. The property management office is being flooded with calls. Everyone wants to know if their lease is safe. Tell them all leases will be reviewed based on authenticity of both merchandise and character. I sipped my coffee. Some people might need to find a more suitable shopping district, perhaps somewhere that appreciates knockoffs as much as they do. Outside, Sarah was having a very public meltdown as security escorted her from the Gucci store. Her social media empire was crumbling faster than her makeup. Should we call security? Emma asked. No need. I watched as Sarah's former friends hurried past, pretending not to see her. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting karma do its work. After all, Sarah had taught me so much about social climbing. It seemed only fair to teach her about falling. 1 month later, I sat in my newly renovated office overlooking Oak Grove Shopping District, watching the transformation below. Gone were the gaudy displays of conspicuous consumption, replaced by carefully curated boutiques that valued authenticity over labels. The morning sun glinted off new storefront signs, each one bearing the subtle Chen Holdings logo. Mrs. Chen. Emma entered with the morning briefing. The Wall Street Journal piece just dropped. From boutique owner to retail empire, the silent queen of luxury real estate. I smiled, remembering Sarah's face when the reporters had approached her for comment about the counterfeit scandal. She'd been leaving the courthouse after Michael's arraignment, clutching a knockoff bag that had suddenly become evidence. Also, Emma continued, the new Tenants Association wants to know if you'll speak at their first meeting. They're particularly interested in your journey from small business owner to district developer. Tell them I'll be there. I turned from the window. In my little shop, of course. The boutique that Sarah had mocked now anchored the district's most prestigious corner. Its success had become a symbol of authentic luxury, attracting customers who appreciated quality over status. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. My phone buzzed with a text from Elizabeth. Please reconsider my lease application. I've learned my lesson. Have you? I typed back. Or did you just learn which side of the power dynamic to stand on? The district's social landscape had shifted dramatically. The former queens of Oak Grove now found themselves scrambling for relevance in a world where actual value mattered more than perceived status. Sarah's infamous coffee clique had disbanded, its members suddenly discovering the quality of my boutique's private lounge. The SEC called, Emma reported. They want to thank you for your cooperation in the counterfeit investigation. Apparently, Mrs. Winters is now offering to testify against her husband. Loyalty was never her strong suit, I mused, remembering how quickly she'd moved in on Michael during our marriage. Send them the rest of the documentation. Let's make sure this story has a properly authentic ending. Through the window, I spotted Sarah hurrying past in last season's clothes, her head down. She'd taken a job at a discount store across town, the kind of place she used to mock. Karma had a peculiar sense of humor. "Your 10 o'clock is here," Emma announced, the Vogue reporter for the Women in Business feature. I straightened my designer dress, one of my own creations, now commanding prices that made Sarah's former shopping sprees look modest. "Send her up, and Emma, make sure she sees the original business plan for my little shop." The one Sarah used to claim was beneath Oak Grove's standards. The plan, now framed on my wall, had mapped out every step of this takeover. While Sarah had been building her social empire on borrowed luxury, I'd been quietly building a real one. My phone buzzed again. Michael's lawyer with another settlement offer. I declined without reading it. Some debts couldn't be paid with money. "Mrs. Chen," a young boutique owner, appeared at my door. "I just wanted to thank you for the mentorship program. It's helping so many of us who felt intimidated by the old guard." I gestured for her to enter. The old guard forgot something important. True luxury isn't about excluding people, it's about elevating them. She nodded eagerly. "That's why we've all agreed to rename the shopping district. The board voted this morning. We'd like to call it Chen Grove." I thought about Sarah, who had once claimed this territory as her personal kingdom. Now her name was being erased from the very society she'd ruled. Keep the old name, I decided. Oak Grove should remind everyone that growth comes from strong roots, not shallow appearances. As the young woman left, I opened my desk drawer and pulled out an old photo, me at my boutique's opening, with Michael and Sarah in the background, laughing at what they thought was a doomed venture. Emma appeared one last time. Final property report. Chen Holdings now owns 100% of the luxury retail space in 3 adjacent districts. Perfect. I put the photo away. Send out the new lease terms. Let's see who's really committed to authentic luxury. Outside, Oak Grove was coming alive with morning shoppers. But now they walked past windows displaying genuine craftsmanship instead of counterfeit status symbols. Sarah had wanted to be retail royalty. Instead, she'd helped crown a queen she never saw coming. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about destroying your enemies. It's about building something so magnificent that they destroy themselves trying to compete. And my little shop? It was just the foundation of an empire built on everything Sarah thought didn't matter.